Hey, are you ready to turn your podcast into an authority engine and not just more content? Well, welcome to Influential Voices of Authority. This is the podcast for coaches, consultants, and experts who are ready to stop being the best kept secret and move to being the recognized, sought after authority in their niche. I'm your host, Erik K. Johnson, podcast talent coach and media veteran. I've been in radio since the late 80s. I've done over 36,000 hours of radio. I have over 570 episodes of this podcast published, and I'm here to sit down with industry experts and visibility leaders to uncover how they use their voice, their message, and their platform to build trust, grow their audience, and attract premium clients. So if you're ready to turn your voice into your greatest asset, well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Influential Voices of Authority. Man, do I have a great conversation for you today. You know, when it comes to turning your authority into a business, it's so important to generate revenue. And especially if you're in the healthcare space, because you're so accustomed to offering services to your patients and to your clients, and you're not really skilled typically in that asking for money part of the business. A lot of times you'll have somebody in the business office that closes case acceptance and things like that. So as you're moving into your expertise and your authority, how do you embrace that opportunity to ask for money? Revenue is what makes your mission possible. You have big ideas. You want your impact to grow. You want to expand beyond the walls of your clinic, beyond the limits of your geography, and you want to expand that impact and that influence globally. But how do you do that? How can you make that mission possible if you're not generating revenue? And that's what we want to talk about today. There are really three pieces of three critical steps that make that revenue possible, because revenue is what makes the mission possible, and asking for money takes confidence and belief in yourself. So those three critical pieces to asking for the sale are so important to make sure they're present every single time you're having that sales conversation, because if they're not present, your sales conversation falls apart and you walk away with no revenue. The first step is clarity. You need true clarity in what it is that you do, and not just what you sell, but the transformation that you offer your clients. What are you helping them accomplish? Who are you helping them become? Clarity on that will help you generate the revenue. Second is your commitment. Because if you're not committed to your business, to your mission, to what you're doing, the why behind it, it's going to be difficult to stick with it day in and day out, especially when the going gets tough. So you have to have 100% commitment. And then the third element is the courage, because it takes courage to ask for money. It's not easy to ask somebody to open their wallet and give you money. But when you do the sales process correctly, like I teach you, where you're building rapport and you're qualifying your prospect before you ever start talking about the solution, it doesn't take so much courage because your prospect starts selling themselves. You just need to do it in the right way. But this is exactly why I've invited ChewHoong Koh on the show today. She is amazing. She empowers mission-driven entrepreneurs just like yourself to close high-ticket sales by mastering the energetics of sales. It's not just mindset, but it's that acceptance of who you are, what you do, and why you're so great at it. Because when you can do that, the sales start coming naturally. She leverages her expertise from more than a decade in Fortune 500 finance and healthcare. She's been training with 10 plus top industry leaders, and she's an international best-selling author. She is amazing when it comes to just having that inner work that makes those high ticket sales possible, especially when you're trying to make the impact that you're trying to make. So enjoy my conversation with ChewHoong Koh. ChewHoong, it's great to see you. Thanks for being on the show today.
Oh, I am so honored, Erik. And first, thank you so much for having me. And more important, what you're doing in service of the community of people that you that are entrepreneurs, they're content providers, they're informational people, right? Doing their mission work, and we all have expertise in different things, but we wish we were expert in everything. So it's great that when we say, "Huh, I need help," and we say, "Oh, let's check out Erik with the podcast." So thank you for being here.
We all have that great mission and we all love what we do. But at the end of the day, we need to make money because the money makes the mission possible. And which is why I really wanted to bring you on the show and talk to you today about high ticket sales and closing high ticket sales, because you help those mission driven entrepreneurs reach their goals and close those high ticket sales. And there's always that little imposter syndrome, that voice in our head that talks negatively to us and makes it difficult for us to close those high ticket sales. But you talk about mastering the energetics of sales. Can you tell me what that means?
Yeah, absolutely. And when you say that, I hear Tony Robbins in his booming voice, saying, "No."
Yes,
Uh,
snap out of it.
right. In his booming saying that business success, only 20% of business success is related to business tactics, strategies. 20%. And that means like everything you learn to grow business, like marketing, right? Learning how to do copy. In sales, you'll be learning the sales script, how to deal with objections and all those stuff. And it's important to have that. However, if you have all this and we spend thousands of dollars doing this, but then you don't go and talk to people. You don't go to, or you can't even get them to come and have a conversation. We call it discovery call, sales conversation. Or if you're fortunate, have them a sales conversation, when it's time for you to say ask for the money. So how would you like to pay for this? You can't even say that. Then you got to know it's an internal game piece. And that's 80% of business success, the psychology. And psychology, immediately people think mindset, okay,
Yeah,
right? And that's a big
yeah,
part of it. However, I learned that if you just do that, it's not going to help you with 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 having a sales success, because you have all these inner voices, of I'm not good enough, I'm worthy, maybe I want to help everybody, and they don't have the money. Oh, maybe I'll discount it, right? And once you start doing that, you go down to black hole, and that's what I did, and that's how I nearly got my business into bankruptcy, because I allow them to nickel and dime me to the extent where I help them, but I'm also resentful because they don't show up, they don't do the work, they don't value it. So
right.
at
Yeah.
one point, I actually got so angry with some people, I actually fired them. I said, "I'm firing you."
Fire your own clients. That's great.
Yeah, and sometimes good have that anger energy, or what it is, because then I have to really reflect, what's the value? And if there's value, and then I raise my price 30%. And it's interesting when you stand firmly in what you believe for, um, it's almost interesting. Like days later, I had someone basically come to me and say, "Oh, you do sales, I need training." And say, "So what's the investment?" I just like blah blah blah, and they just said, "Okay." And I'm like, I almost like, what did they just say? It was the best learning experience, best way of saying, um, of just being committed, have the courage, and just do it.
Tell me about when you had that last bout of imposter syndrome and when you finally decided that's enough of that. I'm going to be true to myself and do what I believe's right. When did that happen?
Um, that happened for me when basically my bank account, really. I it's like down to the place where it was like, oh my gosh, if I don't bring me X, it means that it's going to be um instant noodles,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And really then thinking about, oh my God, I got to go to family members or other people to borrow money, is that shame, that guilt and all that. And I just felt that and the thing is that I really studied with I have all the information. I really paid lots of money with top industry people. I know what I have to do. I just have to do this. And you know what? When it comes to internal, you don't try to do it yourself. I love doing myself, but something when it's internal piece, you got to have someone support you because you're in this mess because you're in it. It's like wearing your own glasses and you can't see, um you got someone to come and clean your glasses, to show you
So
what you came.
you're too close to the situation to see the problem for yourself.
Correct. Yeah. And there's a
Yeah.
part of you that I'm going to tell you, your subconscious mind, one of its prime directives is to protect you, to keep you safe.
Yeah.
It's the basic thing, keep you safe. However, it doesn't mean it's going to keep you safe in the healthiest way. And if your way to keep safe is to be invisible, right?
Yeah.
Procrastinate, getting ready to get ready, it's going to go there because you kept safe. Because if you're going
Right.
to be out there, what happens? That was my big issue because I said, oh my God, I got to be out there. I got to talk about my vulnerabilities, even saying I'm nearly bankrupt. Jesus, And
Well, if a little bit ago you said it's not all mindset, there's other internal factors. What would some of those be that would hold us back?
yeah, one of the thing is that so mindset is a big thing because your mind, whenever you want to do something, okay, I'm going to go out there, the mind is going to find ways to like bring you back to safety. Okay, so it's
Okay.
one
It
foot
wants
in,
to
one foot
protect
out.
you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's why we say that, I'm on mental, I get so excited, I go do, and then suddenly it's like I'm back again, the roller coaster thing, right? And I'm
Yes.
saying, God,
Yes.
I was like, and so then I learned that there has to be better ways for it to stick, the momentum to stick for whatever we want to stick. And so I went on a mission, and so then I learned about energetics. Energetics is that when you're aligned, like energetics means that okay, what do I firmly believe in? What do I stand for? I'm masterful in what I'm doing, right? It's just that I'm just not good at the sales piece. I can learn that. I can figure that out. But if I really stand that I value that, that I'm brilliant in what I'm doing, and maybe listen to the comments my clients tell me, my clients will say, "Oh my gosh, you're so brilliant," and I'll say, I really don't did not receive it because in myself,
Yes.
imposter syndrome. So until I lean into that and really, I call it embody embracing that I truly am, you know, and that sales is just okay. I'm still a little baby, still learning how to do that, but in my way, I'm masterful. Stand firmly in that. That's really supports the energetics. It's like whoosh. And energetics doesn't care about your mind. It wants to go, it want to go. So your mind want to take you back, and you say, and you have to like it's just a little child in you that you can say it's okay, you've helped me and I thank you very much, however I want to do it in a better way. I have a big mission, I gotta go. And eventually it's like bring on a new coat or new pair of shoes. It's very uncomfortable, right? And then suddenly you walk in it, it's like, oh my gosh, it's supporting me. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to growing our authority and embracing who we are in front of an audience, how does that internal shift prevent people from building their authority until they make that shift?
um it's first to be truly honest with yourself. Okay. And the who wants to go there? When I heard about 80% thing, immediately I knew I was doing personal development work. I knew that's important, but 80%, I literally had a this reaction because in my culture, you don't even say I have some mental, emotional challenges that will make me a big loser. Think
Where
about
are
that.
you from originally?
I'm from Malaysia, but I come from
Malaysia.
a heritage where you know, I can't even remember having any conversations around that. It's like this thing
Yeah.
kept in the secret, in the closet. You know?
You'd be an outcast.
Exactly. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's basically it.
Tell
So,
me about a time a client came to you and they were really struggling with embracing who they are to make those high ticket sales and how you help them overcome that challenge.
yeah. And Hmm. I Many of my clients come to me when they say that I've hit a financial ceiling. It's not, I'm got,
Yeah.
I keep that. That's a big thing. Another thing is that feast or famine, right? And
Yep.
it's like
Yep.
they're exhausted with that. They're like getting burnt out. And so, and these are people who are experts out there.
Can you give me an example of one in particular?
Yeah, well, I won't say as an expert out there, but then came to me and basically, it came down to, you know, sh he got the calls, he had sales conversations, but he couldn't close them. And so we said, "Oh, what's happening?" So we went internal, and I have this gift to be able to find the hidden blind spots, that your brain doesn't want you to go because it's like it could open a Pandora box, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this person basically had incidences where, and one of the big ones was being um traumatized and bullied when she was in young and then in college. And so she basically say, life is not worth living. Why do I even
Mm,
bother? Okay. So in her, if she comes from this real, why do I bother if I put myself out there, they bully me and all that? The thing is that when you have conversations with people and you want to step up and say, I can help you, there's the part that says, what if I cannot deliver on my promise? What if they don't think that I share with them is good, and then suddenly all these reviews out there, right?
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're afraid of what might happen.
cyberbullying, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And lots of cases like that. And it doesn't, and even if you have dealt with it, I have a client actually literally say, I am okay speaking in front of people, but up to 400 people. And I said, what happens after 401?
Well, that's a very odd number.
Isn't it? But isn't it, your mind can really take you down. There's one thing your mind does, three things. It can generalize things, it can delete or distort. And
Okay.
it does that because you have to deal with so much things, and you got to keep you safe, keep you in a place where you can easily deal with things coming in, especially as new. So in this case, he just distorted or deleted, generalized it 400. 401 doesn't work.
Right.
And then we went
Crazy.
down, and of course, the part that, basically been told, has a brother who's ultra smart. And of course, the all the love and attention was that. And she would say, why can't you be like your brother? Why can you get
Yeah.
better grades, right? And then you have then later in life, a guidance counselor say, oh, you want to try for the Ivy League schools? Forget it. Can you imagine your guidance counselor telling you that?
Right. I think you've hit the ceiling. Thanks for coming in though.
And
So
yet,
how did you help them get over that challenge and see what's possible for them?
so we do two things. One of them is that we got to um be compassionate in saying that this has happened for you, right? And some of them, you don't even call them as traumas. Like when I had this not good enough thing, but in my culture, being smacked in front of a classroom, being, you know, that was my one big one. I don't know how many times I get called in the front of the classroom, be smacked, right? Because I
Yeah,
could
right.
be mischievous and little, more than a little talkative, and on the rule of the game, be quiet, don't. And so the stink of the ruler was okay, but then the embarrassment, then suddenly I flunked my college entrance exam, and there were only three colleges in my country.
Oh,
So
wow.
my path to like call the American's dream was like, what next? And then I had to go to a special school to go through my go do my big exam to take, one more year of high school, and I had to wear a special uniform. And I remember I would literally take off my uniform and put something different on before I leave the school because that uniform symbolized I'm I'm a loser.
Yeah, you weren't good enough to get into the
Yeah.
college.
But the thing is that all of this, I took it for granted as the normal thing of culture of the society. So I did not realize this is considered quite traumatic.
Yeah.
So I always say, oh, I don't have the big T traumas, which is the bullying, the abuse, violence, and all that. But the
Yeah.
most serious one, a lot of us carry, is what we call the little T traumas.
Right. The ones that people overlook.
Yeah. Or don't even realize that, it shouldn't be happening to you.
How
And
long did it take you to overcome that?
until I'm my 40s and 50s.
Wow.
Yeah, it can stay that long and it shows up in my adult life. And I'm not even aware that it impacted me. But basically, when it comes to because of those things, that's what happened. And then you know what? When you go into being a business person, man, that's all this show up very
Yeah,
loud
right.
because because suddenly you're doing something that is like a little baby that represents you.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people, that's why it contributes to the 80%. A lot of people say, what's happening? When I'm in corporate world, I am this confident leader and blah, blah, blah. And then when I go into my having my own business, suddenly I'm no longer this confident person.
Yeah, you shrink back in. Who do you have in your life that helps point that out to you? That says, "Hey, you're ChewHoong, you're shrinking back into your little cocoon there."
Yeah, it's some of my top mentors. I have at least three. Doing mindset, business, and metaphysical.
So you
And
have different mentors for different areas of your life.
right, because I
Yeah.
realized, it'd been lovely if I can find somebody one in everything, and sometimes I can, and that's what makes me unique. I bring in, I help people in a combination of that. Because I realized how important those aspects are. Not just the business strategies and everything, but also if you're stuck internally, let's go deal with that. And we're going to deal that in minutes and days, not years. All right. We don't spend no time for therapy because you have a big mission.
Let's go, chop chop.
Yes,
So
exactly. That's why energetics. Yeah.
when you started down this path, how did you start building your authority in the space? How did you get out in front of your ideal clients and let them know how magic you are?
I have my three C's. Be clear why I'm doing this. So my big why. The second thing I have to say, how committed am I? And it's from 0 to 10. What's your level of commitment? And it better be between 8 to 10. Okay. And then the third thing is that you can have the commitment, but do you have the courage to basically jump out of the plane, right? And I was at that place. For me, it was like looking. I was also for me, it's a combination. Like I reach an age where if I don't do it now, I've lost all the time. I've wasted all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the time where if I don't do it, that's it, right? And then also the money piece. And with the both combinations, my 3 a.m. nightmare is I at that time I was also very spiritual. I would yell at my divine and spirit, you finally helped me figure out my soul work here. Where's the money?
Hey, before we get back to my conversation with ChewHoong Koh, I want to point out the one thing that she just talked about that I want to make sure you don't miss. And that's those three elements of making those high ticket sales, especially when you're a mission driven entrepreneur like yourself. And that's that clarity, that commitment, and that courage. Have perfect clarity on the transformation that you offer your clients. Have a commitment to stick to it even when the going gets tough, and have the courage to step up and ask for money because you deserve to get paid for the transformation that you're offering clients. So have the courage to ask them, do you want some help with that? Let me tell you what that looks like. All three are so important because when you generate revenue in your business, the revenue makes the mission possible. And that's why it's so incredibly important that you build your authority in your niche. Because when you build that authority, you have more confidence, you have more courage, you have more commitment, and you get perfectly clear on the transformation you offer. So let me help you build your authority. I want you to take advantage of my podcast authority audit. Apply for yours today at podcasttalentcoach.com/authority. This is where we deep dive into your podcast so I can find where your authority is leaking. Where are you not stepping into who you're supposed to be and that transformation you are supposed to offer? People are looking for what you have. It is your responsibility to deliver that to them. Let me help you figure out where it's leaking out of your show. Head over to podcasttalentcoach.com/coaching. That's podcasttalentcoach.com/coaching and get your podcast authority audit today. All right, let's get back to my conversation with ChewHoong Koh. So when you started down the path as an entrepreneur and you started bringing people into your space, what was the first opportunity you had to get in front of your ideal clients and build that authority?
I basically decided I'm going to just be be a guest on post podcast. I'm going to become visible. So
Yeah.
I was on this. I have this thing which is wonderful. I have this thing where the Nike thing, just do it.
That's the best mindset to have.
Right? And I said, just do it. What do you have to lose? You already lost, all this shoulda, coulda, woulda regrets. Too many years, over a decade of that. Do it or shut up. Basically, we call it the tough love, right?
Yeah.
The tender love. Sometimes I got to do that. And then be in community, be in people who experiences, find evidences of people who have done it. Plenty of that. Borrow that. Say, if that person can do it, of course I can do it because I am not unique. Think about that.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we get to a place where we can get addicted to being the victim.
Yeah, being the victim's the easy way out. You don't have to accept responsibility. Things are happening to me rather than me taking control of the situation.
That's right. Yeah. So, and also really almost like be so leaning into, I would say, like into trust and support. I got so good at that. I'm almost like go to here. Every time I think, all right, I'm in fear, it's like, no, back to here. And that's a constant management. And the first thing I encourage people to do is that if you're in fear and all that, which is typical, you just put the word, okay, my financial situation, the way it is just for right now. Put those three words after it because then it's not forever thing, right? And
Yeah.
then you got to get yourself you got to mind what am I feeling right now? If I'm feeling like low vibration, where I feel like I have this invisible rocks in my backpack of feeling despair, frustration, all that, you got to find a way to sort of get yourself back to make peace with what is. And it's a lot of forgiveness work sometimes. And then get in a place of feeling hopeful and optimism. And the only way you can do that is really being community. I started and also willing to say, hi, I need help. This can
Yeah,
be
being able to raise your hand and admit where you are in your space.
especially when you feel ego comes in and say, I am expert in this thing. How can I admit that I have this challenges, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What have been some of your challenges as you've been growing your authority in your space? What's kind of held you back?
For me, it was not about not good enough
Yeah.
because I've since young, I come from a family of 9 kids, and most of them have alphabets after their names, many, many. And I have
Yes.
parents who are both educators, one of them been a principal of a school. So I
Oh,
can't
wow.
so I can't go home and say, "Hey, Dad, I got spanked again,"
Right. How
because
have
my
they
dad
taken how have they accepted you being a coach in this space? It's very ethereal. What we do, we're selling air, we're selling time, we're selling our opinion, and they have all of these letters after their names. How have they accepted your career?
I was actually been in the closet with my family around what I do for quite a while, even to my
Yeah.
kids, because I had done entrepreneurial things and I wasn't successful. And so the thing is that, oh my God, here you go, mom, going to do something to lose money again, right? So I had to do
Right.
I'll walk the talk, right? So I just focus in and just so I can be a role model. And also in my family, you have to look at your family history and generational. Mine was a lot of educators. Almost none was an entrepreneur. So
Oh,
I'm
wow.
almost like one of so I'm breaking that thing that you can be successful as an entrepreneur.
Yeah. What
And
has that mindset made possible for you in your career?
I'm going to say that not the mindset, but also soul, connect and really understanding what I'm called here to do, and
Yeah.
also the energetics. What has said, and it's like really asking question, what's my big mission? What is am I here to do? And for me, it's about I want to be in a world where people get to just be genuine themselves, no masks on, right? And doing
Yeah.
what they love, having the freedom to do it anywhere, anytime, fulfilled, having lots of fun. We gotta have fun and wealthy because you want to make impact, more money. You can do so much more, not just for people, but for yourself. Because hey, I like to indulge and have good experiences too, right? And to me, the cycle of abundance is about equal giving and equal receiving, giving, both of them in harmonic balance.
Well, I talk so much about being yourself when you're on your podcast, when you're creating your show, sharing yourself, sharing your opinions and your perspectives, and that's how people get to know you. When it comes to the high ticket sales that you help people achieve, tell me about the importance of story and that authenticity in order to make those high ticket sales happen.
With high ticket sales, the reason for high ticket sales is the value it provides, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so for me, and I mean, for me, I had people say, I say, so how much do you want to make a monthly? And they say, oh, I'm making 6,000 right now, and in a year's time, I will make 20,000 a month. I'm not saying it's not achievable. It can happen. However, then this, so it's almost like and so, well, if you want to do that, if you want it to happen yesterday, and you have to work with your mindset and all those different things, I'm sorry. And so then is basically saying that there is a process, we have to sometimes go slow to go fast, right? and
Yeah.
and, and there's so many pieces to building a business, and 6 pieces to building a business. And if you're not good in sales, man, you're not going to be a sales wizard the next day, right? And so basically, is sharing that for this to understand that helping them understand that you want this piece, what's going to take, and that piece, and then really um once you see the perspective of that, understand the true genuine value around that, then also asking them how they've been doing, right? If what they've been doing is taking shortcuts and just taking little pieces and is keep going back to not being successful, that in itself is a story in itself. That
Yeah.
yeah, you
Right.
own up to it and not, of course, many of us can say, why should I work with you? I feel this or that person failed me. That's true. And I generally um very sorry this happened. This happened to me too. The question is that what do you want to do now? That's the most
Yeah.
important, right? What is the new story you want to have?
So the stories that you're telling on your show are letting people get to know you, which I find incredibly important. But tell me, how important is the story that you're telling yourself?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? We are we as humans tend to like see problems instead of the solutions, or celebrate the ones, right? And that's because we want to keep safe, right? Because if you know a problem, we can say, okay, let's do something to not have that happen. But you got to be very careful where that could lead you to. So for example, I say that, in sales, if you're not doing well, it's not necessarily a sales problem. It's really the stories you may be telling yourself. So for example, if you've been diligent, you've talked to, let's say, 10 people. The rule is if you talk to 10 people, you should, you want, the numbers is that in general, you got to be able to bring 3 in to have calls, a one-on-one call with you, and at least close one. And here you are,
Okay.
we have to work 10, and it's like zero. And I have a client who actually happened to her like that. And so then she started saying, what's wrong with me? Right? She then, it's natural, right, to say what's wrong with me, or
Yeah.
the people that trained me, they did a very bad job, right? All these things and diminish your power, diminish other people, and then where does it leave you? In a place where you're like saying, okay, I'm done with this, right? And then you have an
Yeah.
expensive hobby instead of a thriving business. And a client that literally was at a place where you say, I think I need to maybe go get a job. Even though when she say that she flinch, right? Because
Yeah.
she knows that when she was on her job, it was a lucrative job. She got paid a lot of money, but her anxiety was roof high. So on one level, she was performing well, and the other level, she was popping pills for anxiety.
Oh, geez.
So what a way
Eh,
to live.
How
So
how did you help her overcome that?
well, basically saying what is the internal trauma related, to that. And so for her, it's this, her story is not unique. It's basically being told by her parents, you're not good enough. Yet, and this is the one that talk about the guidance counselor saying, you're not good enough for the Ivy League schools. Yes, she became a brilliant accountant. She was great in what she's doing, but she was popping pills for over 30 years. And then she
Yeah.
decided to have her own business. She has the expertise, but then she couldn't close because there's internal dialogue going saying that, oh my gosh, what if they come in and I cannot fulfill on the promise because really I'm not good enough.
I hear that a lot that, oh, I love her. She just gets me. And that's why I want to work with her. Two people could be teaching the exact same thing, but you really connect with one. And that's the person you want to work with. I've actually seen people who sell the same exact service
Yeah,
promote each other
yeah.
because they teach the service in two different ways. They have two different personalities. And some people like one and some people like the other. And so that's just kind of the way it comes together.
Yeah, what's very interesting, you talk about if you talk too much about content, there's research saying that when you just talk content, people can only absorb only 7% of what you say. Think about that. 7%. Even
Wow.
if you're talking. And what is the big thing is physiology. How do you show up? And the
Yeah.
tone you use. If I were to talk here and I'm like biting my nail, or like, start, and hesitate and all that, right? As if that you're here, but you're hunching back. They're
Yeah.
gonna feel, oh my God, what is hidden in that invisible backpack of yours?
Well, I always say it's not what you're saying, it's who you're being while you say it.
Yeah. So I even say that when you wake up, we all have a big to-do list. I say that instead of coming to say, oh my God, I got so much things to do, I invite you to do what we call, what do you choose to be today? We call the
Yeah.
do have instead of do have be. Uh,
Yes.
and when you choose that, I'm going to show up instead, or I'm going to have, I have for my power hour where I'm going to focus on reaching out to people, enrollment conversations, right? We call that. I have to, and that's the gift we're going to talk about is how to set yourself so powerfully that when you go and have those conversation, I choose to be this confident salesperson. I choose to support people when I can help them, right? You come from the
Yeah.
quality of in service, of in kindness, of in compassion, actually, then you're going to act from that place. And if you have fear that, oh, I'm not good enough, or oh, I'm an introvert, okay, yes, you are that and more.
Yes. There's so much more beyond that. I love
Yeah.
that concept of be, do, have, because first we have to be before we can do, and then we have to do before we can have. When it comes to achieving your goals, what's your secret sauce? What's your secret to achieving goals?
Yeah, we always say the secret sauce is this. Like we all have a big goal. Let's say, right? Like I want to make 10,000 a month. That seems to be a popular thing. And you're not there yet. And to you, might take, oh my God, a year to do it, right? That goal seems so far away. So in the meantime, you're gonna say you don't want to wake up, oh my gosh, how much money? How much money, right? So if you do it from that place, okay, I better go make phone calls now. There's a doing. So because in your mind, say, if I do all this thing, then I'll have the money and then I'll be happy. It's like pursuit of the happiness. So I say flip it. I say that, really in your business, in sales, what do you choose to be? I want to have joy. I want to go in a conversation with someone, being of service if I can help. It's going to be relaxing. It can be a little fun too for me. Anyway, for some people they tolerate, but it'd be nice to have fun, right? And because I know that I come from that place, then I choose to be in peace and calm and optimism. And then I go have my self conversation. And then if you follow some, you will have clients. So you're not, so the most important is that you have this calmness, you have this joy right now. And that to me is the most important thing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You have
Yeah.
a great tool that can help people achieve their goals. Tell me a little bit about that and how we can get our hands on it.
Yeah. So what's exciting is this that, hey, the inner critic, that mind is going to be there. Okay. It's never going to go away. Sorry, guys. You can quieten it. It's going to be there. And every time you want to get yourself stretch yourself, it's going to show up. I have a
Yeah.
client who's like, she's already a six figure and she now wants to go international. The spotlight is going to be on her. But so I had a session with her and she basically, oh my gosh. And I brought up the trauma or the experience and said, oh my gosh, I thought I've dealt with that. I said, well, you're going to spotlight before you just want to deal with 100 people. Now you want to go millions of people. Aren't you mind going to like, oh, like that, right? Nervous system. And so there we go. That's what's going to happen. And so how do we do that? So my little process is that while you get this inner critic going on, you can do this what I call no more than 3 minute visualization. Okay, at the beginning it's 3.5. Okay, that's how long. But as you get better in it, you can do it in like a few minutes. Okay, and
Okay.
what this is to put yourself visualize the outcome you want to see happen, not with the big goals, but with the important activities you're doing in service of that goal. So you're going to celebrate. You're going to, so for example, um, I'm, I know I'm going to go networking event, right? A meeting. So a few minutes before that, listen to me guiding you to say what is your outcome for going to a networking event, and then two outcomes, get clients, meet potential clients and have collaborators. And it's called a see, hear, let me see, hear, feel visualization. And it's almost like going to the movies. When you go to movies, and you get drawn experience, your mind doesn't know that you're in a movie. It thinks it's real. So let's make real what you want to see happen at that networking event. Okay. And then you go into networking, fully charged, fully excited, looking forward to see what the end result could be. And literally, I would have people, everybody get to see what we do, right? So I say, well, this is what I do. And then literally, I have people in chat who say, I want you on my podcast. Hey, I want you on my summit. I want to talk to you. This is what it means to be the client magnet. You're like the lighthouse. You're beaming this light of you,
Yeah.
of who you are essentially, right? So if you make it what you call with 5G impact, right? 5G, people that yours is going to be attracted to it because you become what we call the safe harbor. You become the one that can support them.
Yeah. That's
And
great.
this few minutes visualization. And the nice thing, you can do it anywhere, anytime. So I can be driving. I have a client, okay. I have someone literally, okay, talk about relationships. She had been in relationships for over, she's gone to a lot of dates, and somehow it's like, oh God, one more of this. I'm gonna, why am I going to go meet people when it hasn't worked? So she said, okay, going to do the ChewHoong thing, So she's driving, she's excited. Wouldn't it be lovely when she goes and someone comes and say, and da da da, it happens, right? She was so excited. By the time she got there, she's not like, ugh, right? She was so excited to see what's going to happen. Literally, some person came up to her like that. Yeah, my gosh, Mary, I haven't seen you for a long time. What's happening? And this person became her.
When we go to get it, is it a short course? Like, how do you teach it?
Oh, yeah. So I give you two audios. One is that to networking because we got to do lots of networking, right? So I give you one, and I give you another one for any goals. So I'll guide you through that. You can put any goal. Could be like I'm going to sales conversation, or even that I'm going to write my mark. I have to write an email. I hate writing the email. I'm not good at that. So I do this visualization, making so excited so that I go do it. And then basically when you do this, every activity becomes and when and you're gonna get more victories. I call them mini victories, right? This
Yeah.
one sale, I meet three people, and you get excited about that. And the accumulation is like snowball effect. You eventually reach your big goal, and that's how you also we call it we collapse the time. So you think you're gonna take a year to reach your goal. interesting enough, many times you're going to achieve it less time. That's the best part
Wow.
of it.
That's
Yeah,
great.
it's really powerful.
I will put a link to that at podcasttalentcoach.com slash achieve goals. Podcasttalentcoach.com slash achieve goals, ACHIEVE goals. You can get it down
Faster.
there and download
Achieve
for
goals
free.
faster. It's
Achieve goals faster. Well, I don't want to make
yeah,
it too
yeah.
long. I don't want to make it too
I
long,
know,
but that
right? But
you
yeah,
could
I understand.
definitely achieve your goals faster by using it. That's for sure. Absolutely. There's also a link in the show notes so you can get it
I'm
over there. Make it
teasing.
super easy for you.
Yeah.
ChewHoong, it's been awesome. I always love talking to you. You bring so much energy and so much light and value. And thanks for being here on the show.
Yeah, Eric, this has been so much pleasure. It's like, wow, did I just work? No, I'm having fun here with Eric. And again, thank you for being here for your community, for everybody, in service of their impact, the difference they want to make, and for their legacy. So thank you.
Oh, what a great conversation with ChewHoong Koh. I can't thank her enough for being on the show. Make sure you grab her free resource to help you achieve your goals faster. You can find that link in the show notes. You can also find it at podcasttalentcoach.com slash achieve goals. ACHIEVE, achieve. Podcasttalentcoach.com slash achieve goals. Are you ready to achieve your goals with your podcast? Are you ready to start attracting those ideal clients? You know, you've published all the episodes, you've stayed consistent, you know your content is good, and yet you're not being seen as the authority that you're meant to be seen as. Your podcast isn't creating the level of influence or opportunity that you expected it would when you first launched it. People are listening to your show, but they're not taking action. And unfortunately, you sound professional, but you don't sound memorable. And the truth of the matter is, consistency alone doesn't create your authority. It's that intentional leadership that does. It's like we talked about in our conversation with ChewHoong. It's that clarity, that commitment, and that courage. So, if you're ready to turn your podcast into an authority engine and not just more content, if you'd like to move from being the best kept secret to that recognized, sought after authority in your niche, let me audit your podcast to find your authority gaps. Head over to podcasttalentcoach.com slash coaching. Click the button right there. You can apply to have a chat with me, and we'll see how we can help you. I'll uncover your authority positioning problem. We'll develop a plan to help you succeed, and then I'll see how I can support and help you develop a plan and a strategy to achieve your goals. Again, you can find it all over at podcasttalentcoach.com slash coaching. Thanks again for being here this week. It's always great to see you. I can't wait until we get together again next week and do it all over again. Until then, remember to step into your authority, and we'll talk to you next time.